right. Welcome to Passionpreneur Success Stories, Ramesh. It's really amazing to have you here today to talk about your journey and how you have been able to transform yourself in this particular journey.
Hey, thank you, Fatah. I think this is an honor for me. I think I did not anticipate this, but coming along, it's great. I mean, thank you.
Welcome. And let's first understand about your journey before Passionpreneurs, right? Before you joined Passionpreneur Mentorship. What were the kind of challenges that you were facing, right? That actually made you to actually look for something like this?
Yeah, before Passionpreneur, I was more in an exploratory mode, right? And I was trying to figure out what needs to be done. And one thing that I've done a lot of things as part of my corporate job and various other things, but I wanted to tick off on, the entrepreneur side of things, right? And when I was looking at a lot of things, Passionpreneur sort of came up, and then I started looking at how do I get the pace, right? How do I make sure that what I should do, right? I had no clue about how to do a startup, how to get into the process, what are the things that I should be aware of, right? And I don't know what mistakes I'll do and how long it's going to take for me. So for me, I think it was more about I was running through all these things in my thoughts in my mind, and so I was looking for someone who can really bootstrap me, right? Who can really give me that quick jump in terms of some things that an entrepreneur needs, right? And I was really lacking that, and that was one of the challenge that I think I was going through just before Passionpreneur.
Mm-hmm. And what motivated you to join this Passionpreneur Mentorship program? Like what actually inspired or motivated you?
I think I actually stumbled into Passionpreneur, right? And when I attended the webinar, it was so infectious. The energy was so infectious, right? And I think if I have to say simply without knowing much detail into all the stuff that happens within Passionpreneur, it was just the energy that caught up to me, right? And I said, when I felt that energy, I felt the amount of things that could potentially be got from Passionpreneur. That sort of triggered me to say, let me bet on this, right? And I just took a leap of faith into this whole program, right? And that's how I kind of landed up into Passionpreneur.
Okay, good. And what areas of this particular program helped you in terms of your entrepreneurship journey that you wanted to kick off? And how did it help you?
I I would say it's the entire program itself, right? But having said that, if I have to just call out, few things, and I would probably look at two or three. One is really, converting my passion into a product, right? The productization process was something that was great, which was a takeaway. The second thing was, I never thought that I'm going to sell, right? And coming from engineering background and stuff like that, you always have this mindset of saying, this is not for me, right?
Right.
I have my own way of doing things, and I don't go and sell stuff. I cannot, right? So always I thought I cannot sell anything. Um, and that's the second learning that I had. Now, I've reached a point where, I feel, yeah, bring it on. It's kind of comfortable for me, and I can do it. So that was the second thing that I think. And the third thing was also in terms of, the process is so simplified that, it makes your goals look easy to achieve. So I think, I would say productization, the sales part of it, which is leading to monetization, and really the pace itself, right?
Great. And I can so relate to it. Like even I used to say during my corporate journey, I cannot sell, right? And
Yeah.
now like bring it on is the thing that we have, right? The
True.
shift in the mindset and being able to. So were you able to actually sell, and how much did you like monetize after you started your Passionpreneur journey?
This is kind of interesting, right? I think I kind of mentioned this that we were thrown this challenge as part of the program, to kind of monetize. And it is a very small amount, right? It's not a big thing, and I think it is intentionally done to kind of push you. So I think in that sense, it was a small amount. When I started off, I thought there's no way that I'm going to get that, right? And this is not at the start of the program. This is almost getting closer to the end of the program, right? Or a little over the midpoint is what we got this challenge. And when I looked at that, it's like, okay, this is not going to happen, right? But I was telling myself that, okay, so what's there? I'll just go and do whatever is being taught to me. But, money is not going to happen. But, in just under a month, I think the tables were turned around and, the whole thing kind of changed. And from the challenge point to what I achieved was like almost 500x, right? So it's like a huge thing, which I definitely never anticipated. And so it is just an amazing thing. I mean, I think there was a huge mental shift for me in terms of this whole thought process of how you can do things at this fast pace, and you can really sell, you can monetize. I think all the learnings came into action, and that sort of endorsed me to say that, okay, you can also do it, kind of thing, right? So I think that became one of the stuff. So it's a big bang for me.
That's good. And when you talk about this big bang, would you mind talking about how much money did you monetize, like from that particular
Oh,
bang?
absolutely, absolutely. I think in a span of that 1 month, I would say I've kind of made 10.5 lakhs, right?
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of a big one.
That definitely is a big one, because from not knowing of, okay, fine, now how do I get into the journey, or having that limiting belief of I cannot sell, to now being able to close for 10.5 lakhs, I think it's a really big win, right? And we are really happy to see that big win happening with you. So this program, of course, you have made money. How did it help you? Like, did it help you anything in terms of like in personal transformation or in your personal life? And how did it help you in your professional life? Like, were there any things that happened here in both the areas?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from a personal standpoint, the whole mindset, right, that came in, right, from the limiting belief of saying, hey, you can't sell, I don't know to productize, right, or can I productize, things like I never thought of, productizing something on the space that I am, which is on leadership side, right,
Mhm.
and really getting to a point where I productize and start making money within the before the close of the program itself. And the program itself is not too long, right? It's just about 4 months, and in such a small span of time, from not knowing to really knowing what you want, identifying it, and then getting it there. I think there's a huge mind shift, right? In terms of that, so it's opened up a lot of space, and that sort of led me to think through in many different ways, right? For my future plans. So I think it's opened up mentally, which is more on the personal side, on certainly on the professional side of things. It gives me more confidence to go and do bigger things and opens up more doors, right? And I think it's also interesting that I was kind of looking at the last few months, the amount of skills that I've kind of gained, right, or spaces that I've touched which I've never earlier operated on. And to my surprise, when I started listing down those things, I had close to 36 skills that I've acquired in
Wow.
these days, right? So which are all new to me, right? And that I felt is amazing, and a great transformation.
Amazing. 36 strings. I think that's really wonderful. And you have been into the corporate world like for about 27 years or so, right? And I'm sure you would have gone through different programs, trainings, courses. How do you see Passionpreneur Mentorship program different than any other that you have done in your past?
So On the corporate side of things, we kind of focus on the hard skills, right? And then the soft skills part certainly comes around, which revolves around the corporate world itself, right? It does not venture into the spaces of the domain that you're working on. Whereas as an entrepreneur, you're expected to do a lot more skills, right? Things like sales, things like marketing, things like a lot of the logistical stuffs to various other things, right? And I think those were all sort of that came up as part of this program, right? The key thing difference, which I think is just not the skills part, right, which is being taught. And I think it's more or less that you learn skills of a certain format in your job, and you also learn from here. But I think the differentiator out here, if I have to call out, would be that the entire process which is being put together, the simplified process that is being put together to kind of make things in terms of identifying your passion, right? Uh, Converting it into a product and monetizing it. And it seemed like a factory, right? There is an input that you give out, and when you come out of that as an output, you are kind of a complete transformed person. And all through this, it's not that someone puts you into a machine and you come out, but there is someone holding you, right? There is a human element to it, a lot of inputs, a lot of things that happens within that machine itself, right? And then we kind of come out as a finished product, which I think is the key USP, right? They don't. It's a holistic view of looking at things, and it is not a skill development, right? It's not focused on, okay, I need these 5 skills, right? So go and focus on those five skills. This program seems to be more holistic. The human side of things, the challenges that is going through, the swarm periods that individuals go through, and giving them a nudge, right? All of those things, right, happens out here. So I think in that sense, this is more holistic in nature. With the mentors being there, it kind of helps us kind of move smoothly. And the icing on the cake is the process, which is kind of the cake as well, because it is so simplified that it gives you the edge.
Great, thank you. And then you said it's not like you are put on a machine, you have a human touch, right? So, and you spoke about mentors. So, how valuable is having a mentor in life and somebody who can actually handhold you and talk to you on your challenges and problems?
I think mentorship is, everyone should have a mentor, right? And I think this is not something that for me, when I joined Passionpreneur, I got to know. But from my corporate life, early stages of my corporate life, I was one of the blessed guys, and that's one of the reasons I grew up in my corporate life as well. Is that I had real good mentors, right? Mentors who supported me, mentors who guided me all through, mentors who opened up doors for me in terms when I was really stuck, and a lot of learning, knowledge, right, empowerment, all of those things came as part of my mentoring journey. So I was a big advocate of mentoring as such all through my life, in the corporate world of whatever 27 years that I've spent. And then when I took the break, I started looking at, hey, where's my mentor kind of thing, right? And I was looking for, how do I look for one, and how do I get the right mentor outside and stuff like that. And that's when Passionpreneur happened. And then it's like, this is great, right? And I think, it's not one mentor. You have multiple mentors coming in and sharing their experiences, and with all the programs that are filled with experiential learning, right? It kind of fast tracks you, and you'll be related to what's happening in real time. And it's not bookish, right? So you kind of get a real time access to what needs to be done, and mentors are always with you to kind of guide you and push you through. So that's been great.
Right. Good to know that. And what about, like, you spoke about mentors, you spoke about like the way your transformation happened and all. how do you think the power of community, because Passionpreneur is a big community altogether, right? How do you think
Yeah.
community helps, and what do you see about the Passionpreneur community here?
You know, to be fair, I think I've heard about the community. I've got a glimpse of the community, right? Because I'm not fully into it in terms of the larger community connect, but to the program that I am, and to the small community within the larger circle of passionpreneur that we have, it's been amazing, right? And I think it's very important because you kind of get the amount of energy that I saw at the beginning of the program for which I joined to what I see now is like it's huge, right? And I see that people just jumping in, people supporting each other. There's a huge amount of contribution that comes in, little things, and you're not right. See the thing that you're not being judged, and people are willing to share, and you can be vulnerable. So I think all of these things kind of makes it a lot more conducive, right, as a community to feel secure, to explore things, to explore the unknown, and kind of venture out. So I think in that sense, I feel it's the smaller exposure that I've got within the community itself is great. I can't wait to see the larger, community and getting engaged with the larger community on the whole.
Hmm. That's amazing. And now that you have got transformation for yourself, you are doing amazing. You are inspiring a lot of people out there. But there are people who are not yet part of Passionpreneur community, right? So, what do you want to talk, give a message, if you have to give any message to people outside the community?
Outside the community, I would say, for the very reasons that I joined, right, and there are some of mine, and there are others which I figured out would be helpful. Is if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to follow your passion, if you want to monetize your passion, right, and if you are in a space where, hey, I want to explore, I want to do something new, something different, something big, right? If you are in a space of saying, I want to make a difference, to this world and do contributions, right? And I don't know what and how to go about, right? And I want to make it big, then you should join Passion, and that's what I would say.
Great. Thank you so much. And it was really wonderful talking to you and you sharing your journey, which is again very inspiring. Thank you. And what is your big goal that you have, like for the next coming up future? What is your big goal that you want to achieve?
I think in the next 1 year that what I would like to do is certainly expand the start of this program, right? Whatever I've started on the leadership side, I wanted to expand that. So in that sense, I also want to give back to the community. So one of the things that I'm looking at is to start off a podcast, leadership podcast, where we're talking about leadership, technology, entrepreneurship, and stuff like that, where people can get more exposure into those spaces. So that's something that I definitely want to do. There's also on a little bit of on the giving back side would be I'm releasing my book, which is expected to be in Jan. So these two are big things, and certainly on the monetization side, we wanted to go big, make sure that we're going to make much more difference to people and have a larger impact. So I think I'm looking forward to a lot of things out there. I'm also looking at expanding businesses into new ventures. So there's a lot in the mind, and I think I'm just waiting to jump and explode into that space. So I think it's been fantastic. So looking forward to all of those things.
Lovely, lovely. And I not only like the monetization part, but the intent that you have to serve community, to give back, right, to add value. I think that's amazing because as human beings, we are here to not just live for ourselves, but to add value in others' lives.
Yeah,
So that is really wonderful about you. Yeah.
absolutely. I think this is what you sort of know it, right at the back of your mind that you need to do something. But I think that got triggered more as part of the whole passionpreneur journey itself, right? Where it teaches you not just to hey, develop some skills and go make money. But it also talks about how can you be socially responsible, how can you really contribute to the larger community, and gives you the thought process of don't just focus on one thing, and don't become a one role wonder kind of thing, right? Look at a multi-role wonder kind of thing. So I think it's a nice, good platform to start off with, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you for being here once again,
Thank
adding
you, Fatah.
value. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think this is I'm like I said at the beginning, right? It's an honor, right, to connect, and I'm glad that I've got this opportunity to talk. So thank you so much.
Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.